Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like these guys who are in charge of us think that we really bought into their scheme, into their way of doing things, like we are all together in it, and actually we're not all together in it. We are independent units that are part of something, but we don't come to life together, and we don't get sick together, we don't get hungry together, and we don't certainly die together. We die individually. That tells us that we are one unit. And some people can say that they have more than one life, they have reincarnation. Some people go and meet their God and go up there. Some people say, I don't want to go up there, I'm going to go down there. And that's different. But even if you have more than one life, you have to make the best out of the life you have. And your life is not holding hands with a neighbor's life. Your life is with your life, and how much you want to share with people that you might love and be loved by. That's up to you. It shouldn't be anybody else's business to tell you how much you should love someone and how much you should sacrifice for someone else. Because as I said, you don't come into this world with them holding hands. Neither you live with them holding hands. You come individually and you live individually. Therefore, you have your own life. Let's discuss this article where we have these leaders who think that actually we are together and we should be together, but only one-way street, in a one-way street, not in a two-way street. So we all pull towards someone else, but nobody pulls for us. And even if you accept that we do that and we pull for others and we're a community, it's still not okay if it's not reciprocal. If it's not reciprocity, then it has no value. It's not moral. According to my ancient civilization. And now the new woke thing might tell you a different story. So I'm going to read this article here, and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. This article comes from Republic World from August 11th. And this is the title. Citizens, and I'm quoting, citizens must be willing, ... end quote. EU's Joseph Borrell says military help to Ukraine does not rule out talks with Russia. Now, Joseph Borrell is the EU's High Representative for Foreign Affairs, who's not voted by the citizens of the European Union. He was not, let's vote for Mr. Borrell. Borrell came somehow through other mechanisms. So he's not, the peasant from Romanian fields did not vote for Borrell. But Borrell somehow will tell the peasant in Romania what the peasant needs to do, because Borrell is in charge. So this guy stated that Europeans must be willing. You must be willing. You have to agree with that. You must. To pay the price for their support for Ukraine. Did you hear that? So Joseph Borrell said that Europeans must be willing to, quote unquote, pay the price for their support for Ukraine. I wonder who dragged them in the support for Ukraine. Did they just wake up and say, I'm supporting Ukraine? Or it was the leaders who did that and then dragged the whole country into that? Do you think that the citizens decided to send money and weapons to Ukraine just by, hey, I think I have an idea, let's send some weapons over there? No, they decided over there without asking the population. And the mass media did its job to propagandize and push a certain narrative so people will support whatever they say, and the Brussels and Mr. Borrell. So Mr. Borrell plays like you must, like you have to be responsible and kept accountable for your actions. If you support them, then you have to suffer a little bit. I mean, you can't, wait a second, I don't want to support anybody. Cut everything, bring everything back right now, because I have one life, and my life is not holding hands with any Ukrainian or anybody else, unless I choose. But you Borrell and the guys from Brussels and my elected officials in my country got my little hand and put it in the other hand, and the other hand, the other hand, and supposedly we all are into this together. So if I'm going to have a harsher life for the Ukrainian, I should be okay with that. Well, I'm not. I'm very not. Okay? I didn't come to this world to be responsible for an unknown person and sacrifice for an unknown person because other people tell me to do that. I disagree with that. And then when I start working, and I'm going to work every day, and I'm working 15 hours a day, and I don't sleep and I don't eat, and I'm doing everything to save some money and help my children and the people that I love, I choose to love because they love me. I don't want the government to get my taxes higher, to get my country in debt, so they poop on my head. By doing that, I'm still working. So I'm working because I work for my life, for me and for the people I love, not for the government, not for Ukrainians, not for Romanians, not for anybody else in the neighborhood. And I don't think you do that. Nobody does that. You're the first one, and then the next ones are the ones that you love, and so on. But you work like crazy. Those guys send over there, borrow money, print money, and then all my work, all my life that I'm working for it is like pedaling like a hamster. You know, nothing. Just I instead of advancing, I'm just going back, and I'm still working like crazy. For what? Do you think I care if I feel virtuous? They tell me I'm virtuous because I'm helping Ukraine? No, I don't have that value. My value is to have a better life every day because every day I work harder. That's my first value. I work not because I like it. This is not work. Because if you do something that you like, that's not work, as Henry Ford said, and I agree totally with that. But you work, I could do some other things right now, and I'm not doing because I like what I'm doing. I think I'm doing something positive, not only for me, but it is just that they tell me what I should do, and I'm just going back. I'm going back, and I'm getting what? 80 and die? And say, okay, what did I do? You helped Ukraine. Yeah, but I ate like shit. I didn't sleep. I worked and I listened to other idiots. I had a shitty life. Yeah, but you helped the Ukrainians. I don't give a... Okay? But they tell me, no, you have to sacrifice. I don't have to sacrifice. You didn't even ask me if I want to sacrifice. You didn't even ask me. So don't tell me I should, for helping Ukraine, Borrell tells me, not me, I'm a European, but that sounds the same for me too. I have to pay a price for support of Ukraine. That support was imposed on me. So how do you tell me I should pay a price for something was imposed on me? I don't want. I do not want. Josep Borrell, yeah, paid a price. In an interview with a Spanish newspaper El País on August 11, Borrell stated the situation in Ukraine has a direct impact on Europe, was created by you guys. And now you tell me I should pay a price? You dragged me into it, you didn't ask me. Why don't you ask the ones who really want to participate? And you tax them. And you get their work, not mine. You force me to do something I disagree with. And now you tell me I should, I must. And Borrell said, citizens must be willing to pay the price to maintain the support of Ukraine and the unity of the EU. That's not true. I might have different values. I might have different values. You can call me whatever you want. If you're the good guy, you pay. I'm the bad guy, just leave me alone. You know, I like to drink my wine. You know, I have time to look at the stars. I like to dream about things. I like to think about, to meditate about things. But I can't because I have to work. Why? Because I have to pay so I can have that. If I have time. And I don't have time. Why? Because I have to work. And he further added that the situation around Ukraine directly affects Europe. No, you made it like that. You created a narrative that it affects Europe. It doesn't affect Europe. It would affect Ukraine and Russia. Nothing else. You make it like it will. No, that's a scenario. I disagree with that. You didn't provide me the evidence. You provide me only with scenarios. I can provide you with many scenarios. If you let them fight over there, Jesus Christ will come back and give us everything. That's a scenario. Why should I believe your fucking scenario? Jesus Christ. all wars end in negotiation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, not really, because United States not negotiate with Japan, so you're a fucking idiot. Right? They destroyed Japan and Japan surrendered unconditionally. That means zip it. The Americans wrote, gave them the paper, and they signed. There was no negotiation. Oh yeah, we want to negotiate. Nothing. What do you mean it was negotiated? They would done everything as unconditional surrender. That's why it was. You know what it is? Unconditional. You have no conditions, my boy. You surrender with no conditions. What are you talking about? Borrell. He's the big shot and doesn't know even this. The fact that we are helping Ukraine military does not mean that we are not doing our best to negotiate. The negotiations should have been kept, or the promises and all the signatures should have been there with the Minsk protocols and agreements, Borrell. You know what those were? Okay, if you do, then remember, why should you negotiate now after you up then? Why you negotiate now in 3 days, everybody changed their mind? You say, I'm changing my mind, like the Minsk protocols, Minsk agreements. Well, I don't want to implement them. Let's negotiate again. And you negotiate every day. Is that how it's gonna be? When someone doesn't like it, I think I kind of like screwed up this negotiation. Let's negotiate again. Okay. And after 2 days, the other guy said, no, negotiate again because I don't like it. That's with the Minsk agreements. No, you didn't implement those. Why do you need to negotiate again? In 2 months, the Russians will want to negotiate again, and then who knows, the Chinese want to negotiate again. So we're going to have negotiations and nobody does anything. No, that's why when you sign that, it's signed over there. And remember, countries of European Union were guarantors of the Minsk agreements. So Borrell, again, leave me the alone. You pull these guys in the same as these guys here. When I say Borrell, I can say the leaders of this institution here, if you know what I mean. The same thing. They dragged me in, and then I have to support what? Higher gas prices and higher inflation and no oil and pay the debt, and for what? For them as a society? What a society? I don't work for the society, I work for me. And they work for them. And if he doesn't work, he should not get anything. And if he can't find a job, I give him a job. That's enough job to be found work here. Everywhere. I don't find a job. No, you don't want to work. You can find a job, but you don't like the pay. Who likes, everybody wants to be, don't do anything and get money. But life is not like that. Grow up. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.